Mane cannot do Lewandowski's goals. He can't do that. But I feel Mane is more clutch. I don't think it was really a money thing. It's may have been so simple as my time at Liverpool is done. The equilibrium of the dressing room could be messed up if Lewandowski, such a huge star player, is forced upon a very young, still inexperienced coach in Nagelsmann. So your boy Saudi, he's in there, bro. Saudi man, he's officially a Bayern player. So we can now officially talk about Mane as a Bayern player, because this is a really bit of a combination video, because I want to talk El Dio, I want to talk the ski, I want to talk the Polish nuke, I want to talk the king of Afrique. So Saudi Mane, look, he's declined. He's not that same dude. He is better through the middle. He wasn't doing so well down the left. You see, there is no replacement for Lewandowski. Let's start there. There is no replacement for Lewandowski. The guy scores too many goals. So unless you're going to get a Cristiano or a Messi, even a Messi who is struggling with Uber Eats, to replace Lewandowski's goals is impossible. So a like-for-like replacement doesn't make sense. You have to now get a player that offers something different and makes your team play in a different sense. Because remember, the key to football is evolution. It's always move forward. Every signing you make, you must always move forward. You must always move forward. You must always evolve. You must always evolve. So I think what Mane provides Bayern is a different kind of mobility, a different kind of dynamism. And maybe it's now going to be a different kind of attack when you now see how Mane combines with a Leroy Sané, how he combines with a Coman, how he combines, well, Gnabry is going, but how he combines with, like, you know, those a Muller as well. So, because for me, I tell you, like, every player goes through rough patches and so forth. But when Sadio Mane is at his best, he's that dude. And Liverpool fans, they can't deny this. Liverpool's great successes, Mane has been at his best. When Liverpool have been at their best and have won trophies and have been truly optimum, Mane has been one of their best and most important players. So this is a fact. So what I think Nagelsmann has to have is, how can I get the very best of Mane on a consistent basis? Because if Nagelsmann can get that on a consistent basis, they're cooking right now. And I just feel that, you know, with Mane cannot do Lewandowski's goals. He can't do that. But I feel Mane is more clutch. I feel Mane at his best, he's a guy that can be definitive in important, tight games. And I feel that Mane is a better dribbler than Lewandowski. And I think Mane is a lot more mobile and can, because remember, he's a guy that can go on to the left, can go on to the right, he can go through the middle. So he's a guy who can really attack you in more various spaces, whereas Lewandowski is much more of an old school striker. So I think in that, you're now replacing an old school number 9 striker for a guy who is far more mobile and can play multiple positions. So I think for Nagelsmann, from a tactical level, there's perhaps a lot more that he can do with Sadio Mane in that instance, man. So that's them, man. So I just think for Nagelsmann is, can I get Mane's best season? Can I extract Mane's best season for me at Bayern? Because if he can somehow do that to say, what was he doing in 18, 19? What was he doing in 17, 18? What was he doing in this previous season? If I can get that kind of a Mane for my team, Bayern are extremely dangerous. But it's a question, you know, because if they now get a guy who's not that good, it is what it is. So, but what's interesting though is how he said, I'm very happy to finally be with the FC Bayern in Munich. I really have great feelings. So there was no doubt in my mind right from the start, this is the right time for this challenge. So I don't think there was a money thing. I just feel, because if you now combine that statement with, he said that once his agents informed him of Bayern's interest, just the interest, was like, oh, he was excited. So I think the narrative has always been, Mane wants to stay, he's not being respected, he wants too much money and he's not happy with the money, so he's not going to go to where they're going to give him money. Bayern giving him that 400,000 by people were quoting. There's no way Bayern giving 400,000. No way. So I don't think it was really a money thing. It's may have been so simple as, my time at Liverpool is done. I would have liked to leave with a UCL, which is why he was saying that, which is his statements make sense. The statement that he made before the UCL, it now makes sense, because he was like, don't worry. Because what he wanted was, this is a nice goodbye present. Let me win the UCL and it's a nice goodbye to Liverpool fans. Because he's already won the EPL, he's already won the UCL, he's been to UCL final, and he's done what he's done. So he's already a Liverpool legend based on being part of their first Premier League title and, of course, their UCL win. Um, so and also I think and there's no bad blood. He had an interview with Liverpool FC TV and it's like, look, I still love the fans. I still have a house in Liverpool. No love lost. I still love you guys. I just want to move on. And every player should be afforded the ability to move on. So I'm very excited to see how Nagelsmann, from a tactical point of view, is going to use Mane and how he's going to combine him with Sane and Coman and what's it called, and Musiala and Muller as well. So it could be a very interesting, difficult of attack. This is from the band director Oliver Kahn. As far as Lewandowski is concerned, not much has changed. He's still under contract until 2023. Here at Bayern, we're now looking forward to the first day of training with Robert. Woo! And Salihamidzic pretty much said the same thing. I said this on a previous video and I'll say it again. This is an old adage in football, specifically with football management. Never keep an unhappy player. You can't force a player to be happy. You can't. You can't force a player to give 100%. Now, a player should be professional, but you can't force to give 100%. I don't just want players to be professional and turn up. I need guys who are motivated and who are 110% behind my product and my idea as a manager. Nagelsmann is younger than me. He's an extremely young coach. He's a maverick in terms of management because it is shocking how he's in management and is this young. Even experienced managers who've got 20, 30 years in the game will say, if a guy's unhappy, it's what it is. Because I don't want to mess up the equilibrium of my dressing room. So the equilibrium of the dressing room could be messed up if Lewandowski, such a huge star player, is forced upon a very young, still inexperienced coach in a Nagelsmann. So for Bayern, it is unfair to put that aggro on a Nagelsmann. You have to help your coach and your manager. You've got money right now. Try and get some money from Lewandowski and go in a different direction and build a new team in Nagelsmann's image. Rumor around the campfire says Nagelsmann and Lewandowski, they don't really sing off the same hymn sheet. They're really not looking at football in the same way. And Nagelsmann wants to play in a way in which perhaps does not suit a Lewandowski. So what people have been saying. So you need to move on. For me, I just think for Bayern, I understand where they're coming from. You live on our terms. You don't dictate anything. And you saying all this stuff, no. You live on our terms. I get that. But for me, sometimes it just has to be to put pride to one side and just be like, it is what it is. It is the end of the road. We have to move on. We have to evolve. We cannot be held back by one single player. And if a player says he wants to leave, cool. We move on and we evolve. And that's why I just think that the right thing to do for Bayern is figure out a deal with Barcelona. Figure out a deal. You keep a player here, he's going to be unhappy. Even when he plays, he won't give you 100%. It's going to feel weird. The dressing room will feel weird. And why? So for Bayern guys, for Salihamidzic and Oliver Kahn, take Lewandowski out of it. Take him out of it. Nagelsmann, help your manager, help your coach, help your very young manager, help your very young coach, and put him in the best possible position to say what's up. You're not putting him in the best possible position to say what's up if you're doing this to your boy. So that's where it is with him, man. I just think that make a deal. Make a deal with Barcelona. Make it happen. And just it is what it is. Because I think that, yes, it's a huge loss. Bayern losing Lewandowski is a huge loss and he's irreplaceable. Now, all because the guy is irreplaceable for what he is doesn't mean that you can't evolve. You can never, ever be tied down to a player. People would have said Cristiano is irreplaceable. And yes, he is. Based on what he provides. But other guys can provide things that are different, as we've seen from Rodrigo, as we've seen from Vini, and as we've seen from Benzema. The grass is always greener on the other side. Don't just think that it begins and ends with one player. Who knows what Mane can do? Who knows what Musiala can evolve and become for Bayern? You must always look into the future. Mane now represents a particular future, and who else can provide that future? So for Lewandowski, and I am very interested to see Lewandowski at Barca, because that's very interesting, specifically El Clasico. Benzema v the ski, the Benz versus the ski in El Clasico. Whoa! That's tight.